This video is to go through the different organelles in the plant and animal cells. Feel free at any point to stop this or pause it so that you can make corrections to anything that you've done or even to add some detail. So these are the organelles of the animal cell. You can go right ahead and check. A couple things I wanted to point out to you here. So this large area is the nucleus. So the nucleolus is inside of it, and then that nuclear membrane is on the outside of it. So this is a very thin layer, and hopefully you know from the functions that the nuclear membrane allows things in and out. One thing that maybe confused kids, and even myself occasionally, were the difference between these ribosomes and the lysosomes. They're small little dots. And so, again, hopefully you know that the lysosome is there to break down and digest certain things, which is why it would be attached to a vacuole. And then the ribosomes are going to at sometimes be free-formed all around the cell, and then other times they'll be attached to an endoplasmic reticulum, and that makes it the rough endoplasmic reticulum. I'll just go through these and say them all so you know what they sound like. This is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the lysosome, chloroplast, mitochondria, cell membrane, cell wall, vacuole. Notice this vacuole in the plant cell is much larger than the vacuole in the animal cell. Cytoplasm, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, nuclear membrane that goes around it, Golgi body, and ribosome. Now, this diagram doesn't show the inside of the nucleus, but inside we definitely would have the chromosomes. We would have a nucleolus, but this is just showing a closed view. We'll move on to the jobs or the functions. I've highlighted the ones that you really need to know. Your definitions, your functions do not need to be exactly what I have, but you'd want them to be pretty similar. So ask yourself, did you list a job? Is it related to what I have? Are they synonyms? Or are they pretty similar? So the cell membrane controls the movement of materials in and out of the cell. It decides what can come in and out. The cytoplasm, it is a clear gel-like fluid, and it holds or contains all of the organelles. So everything just kind of sits in that cytoplasm. The nuclear membrane goes around the nucleus and it decides what comes in and out. The nucleus is the control center, and it has information that directs what the cell does. Chromosomes store genetic material, and chromosomes are the genetic material that decides the traits of the living things. The nucleolus is inside the nucleus, and it makes ribosomes. Ribosomes make proteins that the cell needs. The vacuole stores food, water, and other nutrients, and again, in the animal cell, it's pretty small. I like to think of a lysosome as a garbage disposal. It's not exactly, but it does break down and digest large molecules and old cell parts. The endoplasmic reticulums can be smooth or rough. And basically, for our purpose, we need to know that they transport proteins. They do some other things with proteins too, but as long as you know the gist of that in terms of protein transportation, you'll be fine. And the rough endoplasmic reticulum is covered in ribosomes. Mitochondria makes energy for the cell, and then the Golgi body, or sometimes the Golgi apparatus as it's called, packages up those proteins and gets them ready to be transported. On this list, I'm not going to repeat everything that I just said. I'll skip to some of the new ones, such as the chloroplast. That would be only found in plant cells, and it makes food during photosynthesis. I want you to realize that the vacuole in a plant cell is very large. And then the cell wall provides structure and support. The rest of these should look very familiar to on your yellow sheet, so you can go back and just double check there too if you need to hear me explain what those are. So again, I would go through this, make sure that your notes are accurate, and then make a plan to start studying. Thank you.